Today I decided to make a video on something a little bit different. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about some questions that almost always come up in interviews. And as a matter of fact, I just got back from an interview today, and yes, I got the job, thank God. So my new job now is at Laura Mercier at Macy's, and I mean, I'm just happy to be able to have a job, to have an opportunity to work for what I love to do. As you guys all know, I'm a big beauty junkie, and it's definitely going to suit me very, very well. Anyways, I'm going to start rambling on like always. So, and also as reference, I have notes here, because every time you guys do have an interview, I really advise you I really advise you guys to do a little bit of research on the company, to just know what you're going to say before you're asked the questions, to just kind of practice, and that way you'll be more confident and you'll be less nervous during the interview. Okay, so let me start with one of the first questions that they actually asked. First off, and I'm going to be using Macy's as the example, obviously, because I'm prepared for that. And then I am going to be using Macy's as the example. Okay, so first off, I was asked the big open-ended question, which is, tell me about yourself. Now, when they ask you to tell them about yourself, don't actually ramble on with, well, let's see, I grew up in San Jose. I love spaghetti, and you just don't know how annoying it is when people park like off the lines. It's just so annoying. I mean, oh my God. And then yesterday I went to the club, and there was like people like dancing like all weird and stuff. Okay, so just don't do that. They're not asking for you to tell them your life story. Just make it short and simple. So tell them about your qualities, or just, throw in some qualities in there. And maybe not all qualities, but throw in some qualities. For example, I said, I'm a biology major. I speak Spanish, English, and some French. I can research beauty products for hours on end, and on my free time, I short, throw in some qualities, and make it simple, and just zip it. So, question number 2, they asked me, what is your biggest weakness? Now, you're never supposed to actually tell them a weakness. For example, don't say something like, well, I always fall asleep in class. I don't know, I just have this thing where I'm like paying attention, and all of a sudden I just pass out like in the middle of class. And it's not like a disorder or anything, I just don't know. Like, probably because I stay up watching Family Guy like till like 2 in the morning. I'm pretty sure that's why. Like, don't say stuff like that. Say something say something that is, okay, most people say do not say an actual weakness. Say something that is actually not a weakness, but it's, okay, so let me get to the point. Most people say something such as, well, my biggest weakness is that I'm such an overachiever. I just can't help it. I just always strive for success, and it's just so annoying sometimes. Don't say that either. Just be genuine and say something that is a genuine, honest weakness, but also say that you're working on it and show proof or an example of how you're working on it. Number 3, they asked me, describe customer service. Describe customer service to me. That's what they asked me. So, of course, prior to this, I knew, I'm obviously going to be working in an area that is pretty much lives on customer service. So, of course, I looked at the definition before, which, like I said, do your research. So, the best definition that I came across was this. Customer service is any contact between a company and a customer that causes either a positive or a negative perception by a customer. So what that pretty much is saying in simpler terms is what customer service is just any contact between a company and the customer, obviously, which is going to cause either a good perception to the customer or a bad perception. They're either going to see it in a good way or in a bad way. Now, if they ask you what is good customer service, of course you're not going to say what I just said. You're going to say something like, well, this is my definition of good customer service. I said good customer service is the ability to listen to the customer's needs and wants and to try your best to fulfill them. So that is what I said. So now, no matter what company you are trying to work for, always do some background research on the company. Please, please do. For example, of course, say, for example, we're using Macy's as an example. They're almost always going to ask you why Macy's, or why Sephora, or why Ulta, or why, they're always going to ask you questions kind of like that. And on top of that, they're going to ask you just little random questions. So what do you know about Macy's history and stuff? So, of course, I started with, first Macy's actually opened in Massachusetts and was later brought by Macy to New York, opened on 13 and 14. And I also threw in a little thing about, the logo, the star logo, the red star logo from Macy's. It was actually a tattoo that Macy, the one who started the whole Macy's store industry thing, it was actually a tattoo he had, and that's how he thought of the logo of the star. And of course, that might be a little too much information, and of course you're not going to blob on for hours about the Macy's, about history, about Macy's history and all that stuff, but definitely know the main points and just talk about the main points. Okay, so now this is another tricky question that they always like to throw in. Well, these are two more tricky questions that they always like to throw in kind of at the end of the interview. And, okay, so number one is, why should I hire you? So that one's kind of nerve-wracking and kind of like blanks your mind completely for a second. So now, don't be scared to say this. As cocky as it may sound, it works. For example, this is what I came up with, or this is what I said. Because I feel like I'm the best person for this job. Don't be scared to say it sounds cocky as hell. But, if it works, it works. I said, I know there are a lot of other candidates, but what differentiates me from them is not only my passion for everything having to do with the beauty industry, but also that I always try my best in everything that I do, and I never give up. So that is what I said. And she looked at me in an approving manner, so meaning that she was content with my answer. Now, another thing that they throw in is, how much are you looking to get paid? So try to keep away from numbers and, anything like that. Just say, if you're kind of going to get the job, say something like, well, honestly, I am ready to consider your very best option. Your very best offer option. Of course, it's not always going to be the same questions I just talked about, but those questions do come up very often in interviews, and they are kind of tricky, and they kind of throw you off sometimes. That's why those are the questions that I wanted to address in this video. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found this video useful, and I helped you get by your interview. And if you guys have any more questions or comments, just post them down below, and I will for sure reply as soon as possible. And have a great day. Bye-bye.